Pleased to be joined on Stacking the Box by one of the, if not the greatest tight end to ever play the game, Antonio Gates, working with FanDuel. Duel for a difference. We got the Chiefs and Chargers coming up on Thursday night. Antonio, you should know that my partner, Matt Verderame, maybe the biggest Chiefs fan I know. This dude loves
Oh
them.
True.
man,
I know. I know. I was glad when you retired.
I know, right? Right.
Tell us about why you wanted to work with FanDuel, and this is obviously something that means a lot to you.
All right. Man, let me say this, man. I'm really happy to be partnering up with FanDuel. Just to duel for difference. There's a fantasy contest tomorrow night, the Chargers versus the Chiefs. So, FanDuel is going to donate all the entry fees back to Lupus Research. So I have a personal connection with lupus because my sister had it in 2014. She passed away. So, it's very special and really close to my heart when it comes to, when you talk about lupus. So obviously, you play FanDuel, and then, fans can enter. And not only do they win prizes and et cetera, they can win, 2 tickets to the Super Bowl 56, which is in Los Angeles, which I'm hoping the Chargers will be hosting. So just a fun time, man. A very special moment, a very special place in my heart. And hopefully, they get a chance to play FanDuel.
It's beautiful stuff, and the way you're honoring your sister, and I've known other people who've been touched by lupus as well. So appreciate you being out here, Antonio. Do you think your Chargers? Let's start there. Long shot, but but right there too. I mean, you win Thursday night. Hey, division, the whole thing.
I know.
Do you see them as a legit Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, well, to me, this is the tale of the tale tomorrow night. To me, this is equivalent to a playoff game for both teams. You whoever win this game is probably in first place in the division. So it'll feel like a playoff game, and to me, essentially, it is one. But more importantly, to give you a good understanding about where you stand and how much improvement you need to do right now is a very important time. December, we always talked about it. December is, to me, is playoff football time. So I'm excited, man. We at home, and we're playing against a really, really good team in the Kansas City Chiefs, and we know that. So we definitely have to be clicking on all cylinders.
I'm curious because it's a divisional game. Obviously, these two teams played back in week 3. The Chargers won the game. They went in Arrowhead. They won. They won late. How much is a player if you were on the team today, would that matter to you? What happened in week 3? Would you say, look, man, that was 3 months ago, whatever? It doesn't really how would you look at it from a player's perspective?
Well, I think what we generally try to do is we try to, stay positive in terms of, going into a game, which we would talk about, hey, we were able to beat them in week 3. Now, needless to say, that's not the same team. You know what I'm saying? So I think from a captain standpoint, we would still focus on the things that we focused on to win the game, but yet understand that they're playing at a higher level now. So things that we did even then was, even if we did them well in week 3, we need to do them even better now, because obviously it's a much different team than it was week 3. And essentially that's how the NFL is. You're truly never really seeing the same team. Some guys are banged up, some guys are out, some guys are in. Like we get Keenan back, hopefully we get Derwin back. And that's a whole nother Charger team instantly from last week, from the Giants, what they seem. So
right.
We will stay focused on what we need to do well, which is, getting the ball in the right guy's hands in order to give us a chance to win. But yet understanding we are capable of beating this team, and we've already proven that. But yet that's a very difficult team to beat. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's do the things that's detailed to try to win this football game.
Let's talk about your career a little, Antonio. I mean, 16 years, NFL all-time leader in touchdown catches for a tight end. If someone had told Kent State basketball playing Antonio Gates that, hey, dude, you're gonna get drafted by this team out in California, the Chargers, and you're gonna play your entire career out there, you never would have believed it, right? But in the back of your head, did you think if this basketball thing doesn't work out, I could be really, really good at football? No, you're shaking your head, not.
No. It wasn't. It's funny because when you create I was like, man. So my rookie year, it was funny because my rookie year, I was getting cursed out so much. I thought I was gonna be the first one to go. You know what I'm saying? So I was getting MF'd, and you gonna be out of here if you don't line up right. So I think what ended up happening for me, it was just the pure thing that you need in anything you do. It's just one step at a time. You know, I was gradually getting better at a rapid pace. And I think that is what, at the time, Marty Schottenheimer was seeing. This kid, you know, and I think that's what you talk about. You talk about getting better. You talk about, which, you know, even when I talk to my kids, I talk to them about getting better. And that's what I was doing. I was getting better every single day to a point by the end of training camp, I was on an active roster. My goal was to be on a practice squad, just so you know. I wasn't even trying to be part of the 52. I was trying to be part of the 63, like with the guys who don't dress, who don't, you know, who don't get in the game at all. And I end up being active to the point I started playing as a rookie. I started as a rookie. So I never got complacent. Whatever position I got in throughout my whole career, from the time I was getting the Pro Bowls to all pros, I just always felt that I can get released, fear. And it drove me 16 years, 100 and some touchdowns, you know, 10,000 yards. It constantly drove me. I found a mechanism every single year to get better, because the fear of failing, I think, was more a driving force for me than anything else at the time.
You know, fairly recently, of course, we lost Marty Schottenheimer. He had Alzheimer's and passed on. And I'm curious, you mentioned what was he to you in your career as a player, as an individual, even away from the field? You know, what did Marty Schottenheimer mean to you as you look back on him?
Oh man, he gave me, he showed me how to be passionate about what you do, how to love and be passionate about, you know, and believing in what you do. And people know him, and people who played for him, I'm quite sure they can vouch for this. I mean, he was a great motivator to get you to go out and play your best football. And I mean, he would tell stories, whether or not they were football related or not, it didn't matter. You felt his passion. And I think when I think about my career and how it started, he is a big part of it. Just giving me an opportunity for one, but yet understanding what it means to be a part of something so special. I remember I got a story. He ended up, I was late for a meeting. And generally when you're late, you know, you just get fined and people don't know about it. He made me go up and explain to the whole team why I thought I was better than them. And I decided not to go, you know, and I remember going up there and I was like, I basically froze. I'm in front of 50 men that I'm playing now. I'm starting as a rookie. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, I'm letting these guys down. Never was late again. Never did, you know what I mean? Never wanted to be late. So every time I would play a game, in my mind, all I can think about is, oh, I missed that block. I'm letting these guys down. He instilled that in me. And I thank him for that. And he's just a wonderful human being. He was like a father figure to me, if you will.
That's big time leadership right there.
Yeah.
Helping out a young guy. Who would you say that you played with, Antonio, who was the best leader, just pure leadership in that Chargers locker room?
Oh man, I've had some good ones, man. I mean, you know, because guys lead in different ways. You know, you got your vocal leaders, you got your, you know, example leaders. You know, I just think about the quarterback group I've been a part of. Like, so I had Drew Brees first, right? Which is, right, self-explanatory, right? Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks ever played this game. Then I had a chance to play with Doug Flutie, right? So then I finished with Phillip Rivers. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think they all piggyback from each other. I think they learn different dynamics from each other. But more importantly, I was able to be around all three of them. I caught a touchdown pass from all three of them, which is, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Like, you dream of that as a pass catcher, to be able to catch from not only Drew Brees, but I caught one from Doug Flutie. Not only Doug Flutie, I caught one from Phillip Rivers. I mean, essentially, those are, in my mind, you know, I don't think Flutie's in, but they'll be 3 Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? Whether or not Flutie gets in or not, he's still in my mind. He impacted the game. He impacted people the same way. So, you know what I mean? You think about a 22-year-old young man being around that kind of core guys. Those are the leaders in that locker room. You know, obviously you had ALT. You know, we had guys that was, you know, silent leaders, and guys like Jamal Williams. You know what I mean? We had so many different guys, and I was very blessed to be a part of so many different people. And I probably forgot some guys' names, so I know they're gonna be mad at me. But you know how they go. You get the name and names, you better get them all right. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's so many different guys, man. I'm just privileged because I was new. I was green to the fact of the game of football, and I soaked in every single thing that people were telling me, and I used it to my advantage. And I tried to implement it as much as I could.
Well, you guys obviously during your run in San Diego had some very good teams. And when I think back at the teams that are the best I ever saw that didn't win a Super Bowl, I mean, that undefeated Pats team is probably, they have to be on top. I mean, the team was absurd.
Yeah.
You guys, of course, saw them in the AFC title game and actually played them really tight, played them and very banged up, right? But the other team I always think of, and I know you probably know where I'm going with this, your 06 team.
Yes.
That year.
Yes.
I was talking to somebody in the league actually a couple of days ago, and you guys came up, and the person I was speaking to was like, "That was the most talented football team I've ever seen." And is there ever like some guys they walk away from the game and that's it, they leave it behind? Are you like that, or do you ever sit there and have a drink and go, "God, how do I not have a ring on my finger from that season?"
100%, man. We just had alumni week last week, and all the ex-players came from the 70s and 60s, 70s, all the way up to the 2000s. And, our conversation was so deep in terms of why we are not Super Bowl champs. And what I can say, I didn't find much to dispute it. You know what I'm saying? I must say that. But what I was saying to them is that, we didn't win it. And unfortunately, we didn't win the Super Bowl. But we had so many championship moments and times that championship teams have, and we experienced that with each other. And I remember us having 11 guys in the Pro Bowl. 11. I mean, offensive line, people don't know our offensive line was phenomenal. Our fullback was Lorenzo Neal. We had LT, we had Phillip, we had Vincent Jackson, we had Sean Member, Jamal Williams. We had so many guys, special teams, punter and kicker, Nate Cady and Mike Cyphers, and Hannick and Kasim Osgood. We had guys every single position, every place you can think of, imagine. I'm surprised we didn't win Coach of the Year that year. You know what I'm saying? Surprised we didn't get that either. So I think what we remember the most is the competitiveness that we had at practice, but the moments that we shared. And I think that's what life really brings down. When you think of championship teams, they talk about the moments that they had. And when I think about the moments that they had, we had them. We didn't win a championship, but we definitely had them. So I think you take that in consideration sometimes. And, it's a small percentage of people who come into the league and win Super Bowls, very, very small percentage. So we had an opportunity. And at the time, we just thought it was just part of it. It's just like, that's why people tell you, don't take it for granted, because playing with a guy like LT, I thought I was going to always get an LT. You know what I mean? Till he left. And then I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
It ain't 8 in the box no more. You know what I'm saying? Now, wait a minute. They're not putting 8 in the box no more like they did last year. You know what I'm saying? So, playing with a guy like Vincent Jackson, the safety have to always stay over the top. So when he left, all of a sudden, the safety was in the hole in a box, doubling me. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is it always so many? It's like, do they got too many men on the field now? You know what I mean? So it changes, man. And I didn't appreciate it then. Much appreciated now. Ton of respect for all the guys that I've had a chance to play with. They inspired me so much. They showed me the way, man. So, like I said, we had championship moments.
Verderame, you looked like you had a follow-up, or should I jump in on my?
No, by all means, go ahead, Carl.
Okay. Well, I just, your last 2 years were with the LA Chargers, and I mean, I'm a little old school here. Like, the Chargers belong in San Diego, but do they feel? Does Los Angeles feel like home to you, or is that always going to be a little bit off?
It was funny, man, because I didn't really know what to expect, making that transition. So, and only 2 of us made it, me and Phillip. Everybody else, even the alumni, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm literally the only one that played in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So, when we first got here, we felt like anything, right? You felt like, okay, maybe we're going to be the stepchild. You know what I mean? The third cousin or whatever. This is the Rams and the Raiders territory, essentially, right? So, I was blown away with the way they were welcoming us to Los Angeles. The way, the support and the people coming to practices, coming to training camps. And I was just like, wow, they have accepted us in a way that I never imagined. And you're starting to see it now, even at the stadium. You go to Charger game now, it's so many people that come out and support. And I'm like, wow. I don't know if it can never truly take the place of what we did in San Diego, because that's just a true San Diego base, but it's coming along at a pace that I just never could imagine.
Yeah. Well, great to talk to you. And the partnership with FanDuel and honoring your sister is all beautiful. Congrats to your son too. Go Green.
Thanks,
You got a son playing for Mel Tucker and company. You got to be super proud about that.
I am, man. I'm so happy for him, man. I'm so excited his next chapter in his life. And yeah, I got some green pants on too, by the way, man. So yeah.
Hey, there's some all-time great Spartans. Of course, I always think basketball when I think Michigan State.
I know, me too. Yeah.
Right?
Well, don't forget Andre Rison went there. So,
okay.
some guys that went there, you know what I mean?
That's
I got, my homeboys, Plexico Burris and Julian Peterson and Robert Smith and all the guys, man, back in the day. So we'll figure it out,
Well, let's not forget. I mean, hoops is really your first love. I mean, you would have rather been in the NBA than the NFL if you had your druthers, right?
Yes, I really have. Yeah, but it's like like everybody. I think everybody probably doing Plan B now, man.
That's true.